Check to see if microphone is working. Yep, I've got audio and we are all set to go here. So we made it through Monday, another day down. That's always a good thing. Now, we are rolling, excuse me, we are rolling along here. We are in midterm week. We got some things coming up that I'm going to talk about. What's going to actually happen on Thursday. We have some things that are going to be going on that people need to be aware of as far as in how we're going to be handling the guest speaker situation on Thursday. So I'm going to be discussing that here, and we are going to begin rolling here. So on Thursday, Cassandra Sanchez is going to be meeting with everybody in here, and that's going to be meeting with all of y'all from 6:30 to 7. Okay, that's going to happen there on the campus. So you need to be prepared to be meeting with her from 6:30 to 7. And the participation question will be going out shortly after 7 p.m. I'll be sending that to your student emails. So you will need to be able to access that and check that shortly after 7 p.m. on Thursday. The nature of that question will be related to what is gone over on that meeting that you're going to have with Cassandra on Thursday. Okay, so that will be Thursday from 6:30 to 7. You're going to meet with her on the campus, and the question for the participation will be related to that. Everybody got that? Everybody's good on that? You understand that? And so the what I would have for a normal presentation, that's going to be an abbreviated presentation. I'm going to pre-record that. I'm going to send the recording link out. That recording link for how to do the midterm, that's going to be available early on Thursday. So that link, I'll be sending that out so that it's available to you first thing Thursday morning. So that's going to show you how to do the midterm in case you don't remember what we've already gone over. You're going to meet with Cassandra between 6:30 and 7. She's going to go over a presentation with you. Then at 7 o'clock, you'll have access to the participation question in your student email. You'll answer that just like you would normally, and that's what's going to get you the participation on Thursday. So that's how Thursday is going to run. So you will need to make sure that you are available for Cassandra on the campus 6:30 to 7 on Thursday. All right. Okay, so we are moving on and we are going to start our little screen share here. And away we go. So we are in week 2. So on the brand statements and the elevator pitch, some clarification that I want to make sure that we all understand that brand statement, that is one sentence. Remember, brand statement, statement meaning one sentence only. Your elevator pitch, that is your personal commercial. Think of Super Bowl commercials. Think of a commercial runs 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Okay, so that is your multiple sentence. That is the answer to, tell me a little bit about yourself. That's the one where you are going to write it, you record it, you memorize it, and you give that. So those are the difference between them. That brand statement has to be one sentence. Narrow it down. Okay, that's what goes on the top of your resume. It goes on your social media accounts. Those go on your business cards. Okay, we're going to talk about those not tonight, but tomorrow in part 2 of the topic that we're going to be having tonight. Okay, so Monday, that elevator pitch, Y'all did incredible. Understand these things are not the easiest things to write. Everybody has different ideas as to what should go in them and how you arrange this. But one thing, how many people remember me saying you are in control of your career and the interview? Anybody remember that? Yes. So here's something, probably one of the weirdest pieces of advice I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you advice. Cassandra's going to give you advice. Everybody's going to give you advice about your career. Here's the big deal about this. Never let somebody tell you to put something on your resume or do something this way or do something that way that you are not comfortable with. Okay? The reason being, you have to sell this. You have to be convincing. If it is not something you believe in or you stand for, or this is 100% genuine to you, say something. Say, I this is not me. I am not that person. This is not what I do, or it's going to come off as fake, as phony. Okay, not authentic. You have the power to edit, to change these things. And you need to be able to defend your thought process, not just, I ain't gonna do it or I don't like it. Okay. You need to have the reason why. I don't feel comfortable. That's not the truth. That's not me. That's against my beliefs. That's against my, you know, attitude, aptitude. Yeah. Stand for you. Okay. Always be you. Okay. Don't have multiple faces. Hard to wear a hat that way. You don't know which direction to put it on. If you're one of these people that thinks you're such an incredible actor that you're fooling people, go into that field, okay? Go into acting. Otherwise, people play along, but you're not playing them, they're playing you. All right? Okay, so Tuesday, that worst interview ever. I've read some of these that people have done. Oh boy, some of them are doozies, some of them are horrible. Some of you haven't had a bad one. I'm glad. Okay, remember, if you had a bad one, tell us about it. Had it only good ones, tell us about a good one. Never had one, how are you going to prevent it? That's what you've done. Some people are ahead of the game. They've already done this. Okay, that mock interview, schedule it. You already did the one for the interview schedule or the resume, scheduling that. Now follow through, get that resume. Now you're going to schedule that mock interview because you need that resume to go in. Now, next or this Thursday, you're going to send me that resume with the signature on it. Okay. Don't send me a resume without a signature. Now, if you haven't had that resume session and got that signature, don't send me something without it. You gave me the date of your appointments. So I'll be checking to say, oh yeah, they haven't had their appointment. But now if your appointment date and time has passed, you need to let me know why you didn't show up. All right? Just be upfront. Let me know why and fix it. Right? Everybody got that? You show up and do it. If you don't show up, let me know why and fix it. We always fix what we didn't do, right? So most of you will have this done already. Wednesday, has everybody or who has interviewed the person they need to interview? Who has? Anybody? Okay, who hasn't interviewed the person they need to talk to? Be honest. We're going to find out real quick. Okay, either you have or you haven't. Who has interviewed them? No responses. Okay, so then this should get 100. Who hasn't interviewed the person you were supposed to talk to? All right, thank you for honesty. Okay, go talk to them. call them, talk to them in person, or email them. Okay. It's supposed to be done tomorrow. You have till Sunday to get that in. Okay. So don't forget about this. Have to chit chat with them. Get them on the phone. Get them on email. Get them on text. Don't forget 250 words about what you found out about them. Don't try to fake it. I do run it through AI checkers, and it'll tell me what percentage of it was generated by machine or human. Okay, I've had people try to fake it by running it through ChatGTP and any other AIs. Don't do that. Okay, make sure you include the name and occupation. All right. Okay. Make sure you also answer these 3 questions at least in there as well. What did you learn? Okay. What special insights? What did you find out that you didn't know? Okay. And what lessons will you incorporate into your career plan and why? What did it put in there that's going to make you think, okay, over the long term, I need to keep this in mind. And if you didn't learn anything, because I always have that one person, I didn't learn anything. I knew it all. I didn't learn nothing. Okay, if you're one of those people, you're not off the hook. Why didn't you learn anything? And better be detailed, okay? Explain why you didn't learn anything. List the questions you asked them, why you didn't learn anything from those questions. Okay, we need to know why. Very rare that that situation happens, but it can happen. But we need to know why so we can try to prevent that from happening. Not saying that it can't, but we need to know the reason why so we can fix that. All right. So I hope you find some incredible information about the career you've chosen. And this should be interesting to you. This is what you wanted to do. Okay. Or should be what you wanted to do. I hope it is because I want you to have that success. All right. So we're good so far. And we move on. And then on Thursday, like I said, you're going to be meeting up with Cassandra. She's going to be there at the campus, 6:30 to 7. You're going to meet with her in person. She's going to give a little talk. Da, 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 da. I don't think she's using hand puppets, but there might be pyrotechnics. There could be backup dancer. I don't know if there's going to be the whole Drake and Lamar beef thing going on there still. Maybe that got settled at the Super Bowl. Who knows? Watch for that. It could be an exciting show, or it could just be her talking to you. I'm not sure. Either way, you need to be there because your participation question going to come out of that talk because her and I have been talking. All right, so listen to that. I'm going to do a recording. That's going to be done. The recording's not going to have your question in it. I'm going to send that separately to your email. The recording is going to be for those that need to look at it to see how to do that midterm. The important thing on the midterm is once you start it, you need to finish it. Got that? Okay. And that's also when you're supposed to turn in your resume right there. Okay, so we're going to get started. Now this presentation is actually broken into, we're going to do the first half today. All right. And then the second half is going to be tomorrow. And then I'm going to show you how this is tying together. Everybody good so far? Yes? Yes, yes? All right. Everybody's trying to get a little more confidence in themselves, trying to feel like they're kind of getting a feel. Yeah, good, good. Because we're going to go further than we have, okay? So we're going to be doing this. Here we go, because we're going to start preparing for that interview. This is what everybody wants to know about. How can I nail that interview? Take a little bit of preparation, okay? So we're going to draw a little smiley face. We're going to give them hair today. And give them some ears over here. We're going to give them a face today. Look at that. My drawing skills are improving. Okay, 3 types of job interviews that you might be invited to, like a party. Okay, and we're going to talk about research that you could do for a potential employer. We're going to talk about in-person versus virtual interviews, not the kind that you put on those glasses and dinosaurs come at you type thing, but questions that they might ask you and questions you might ask them. Always in an interview, ask at least a couple of questions. Okay, this lets them know you're interested in them and it makes them more likely they're going to become more interested in you. Not asking questions isn't a good thing. Okay, and we're going to talk about ways to prepare for that interview. All right, here we go. So at some point, they're going to be inviting you for an interview. Okay, typically it's because they've seen your resume. Okay, and why did they see your resume? Because you remember to use keywords. So those keywords cause their search to pull your application and that resume. And that resume it made them look at it and go, you know what? They have skills on here that match what I want to see. So they call you in. Now, this is their opportunity to ask you details about that resume and see if you could be a potential employee. And it could be a phone call or an email message. How many people are checking their emails multiple times a day? Anybody check their emails multiple times a day? Nobody? Okay, there you go. So if you're in the job search process, a couple of things. I strongly recommend setting up an email address just for filling out applications, job, employment things, etc. Use that strictly for jobs, okay? It keeps everything from going in with all the coupons, all the sale items, all your personal stuff, and you trying to fish all that stuff out. Send it to its own thing and make sure that it's not that email address too hot for you at gmail.com, okay? That is not a good email address for applying for jobs, okay? So check it often. You want to be there. If that email comes out and says, please get in touch with me before 5 o'clock tonight. Well, if you're not checking it often and you check the next day, you could have missed out, boom, on a great opportunity. And you know what? People who like to, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. Oh, it's late or, oh, I missed the deadline. That's okay. They'll hold it open for me. No, they won't. Stop living in that dream world. People won't extend deadlines for you. They won't stay open for you. They won't hold positions for you. Okay? The hand holding stops. When somebody said it's a deadline and you miss that deadline, they say, thank you for working here. We've already interviewed somebody else and they replace you. Okay? Extensions stop outside of school. Learn that a deadline is a deadline. Okay? This is part of reality that we don't always like to face. When someone tells you no, that means it. No. Okay? So start preparing, start looking for ways to manage that time and get it back. So that's why try to, if possible, set up a separate email so you're on it. Okay? Phone calls. How many people don't take phone calls from numbers they don't know? Anybody? Oh, I don't know that number. I don't take that. Okay. Here's the issue here, and this is hard to do. When you're in the job search number, you're going to get lots of phone calls from numbers you don't know. Couple ways you can handle this. As soon as it comes in, let it go to voicemail, and your voicemail better be set up and set up nice. Not these funny little messages on there, not rude or vulgar messages. No one wants to hear Rick Astley, Rick roll them. All right. It needs to sound professional and it needs to record it and you need to pick it up and listen. Because if it's a job potential phone call, you need to return the call right away. If you do pick up, don't pick up and go, who dis? Okay? Because if I'm calling and you pick up and you say, "Who dis to me?" I say, "Not for you." Click. Okay? That's it. That was the first opportunity for us to meet, and you gave no respect. You put in an application, you gave me a phone number, I called it, and you who dis me? I don't you. Got it? Okay, so since it's going to be phone calls from numbers we don't know, let it go to voicemail and then listen to that voicemail. Check that mailbox because some people just keep their mailbox full and then don't get any messages. If you're not getting messages, how are they going to reach you? All right. So everybody, you're going to check those voicemail boxes, make sure they're not full, right? Yes, yes. And you're going to make sure your messages are not bad, they're not vulgar, they're not unprofessional. Yep. And you're going to check them, you're going to keep them up because we want those calls. Okay. You'd be surprised how many people I've had to call. Anybody hear of a company? Let me go back because I need room to write here. Anybody hear of this company, ADP, called the payroll company? A lot of your checks will say ADP on it, depending on where you work. This company does payroll for more people except for the federal government in the United States. This company processes payroll for more companies than anybody else. No matter who you work for, they hire them. Okay. So a lot of times you'll see this ADP down at the bottom of the paychecks. All right. They interview people for companies over and over and over. This is who I worked for over 30 years. I've worked for them. Okay. It was my job to interview people. You know how many phone calls I called and could not get through the person who was wanting a job so desperately? You can't imagine how many people threw away career opportunities. Be prepared. Okay. Now, when someone calls and wants to interview you, be polite, sound interested. Remember, smile when you talk. Okay. We want to hear you. Project out. If you're mumbling like this, I don't know if I want to talk to you. Why would I bring you in if you don't sound like you're interested in the position? Okay, make sure you know where you're going to go, the place, the time, and who you're going to talk to. Okay, you need to know the name of the person because if you come in and you say, I'm here for the 10 o'clock interview, great. We have 5 different people that are doing interviews at 10 o'clock. Which one are you meeting with? Make sure you know who, what, and where. Okay. Bring your resume, bring your references, bring everything you think you'll need and multiple copies of them because you might be interviewing with more than one person at the same time. And it's not one of those snuggle up and share with each other type situations. Okay? Everybody got that so far? So now we've got the call or the email, right? Everybody? We got that so far? We've answered them. We've set up the interview. We got our document and we're there. Make sure you respond immediately. And we're going to use that netiquette. We're going to be polite. We're going to communicate everything back because we're going to get one of these 3 types of interviews, right? Everybody good so far? Yes? Wakey, wakey. Everybody good? Yep, because here we go. So there's going to be 1 or 3 types of interviews you're going to get out of this. The screening interview. This is where they're just going to find out to make sure they got the right candidate coming in. Make sure your skills are good. They're going to ask you about them. So be prepared. They're going to ask you about your hard skills, your work specific skills. They're going to ask you about your soft skills. You know, these are the ones, your people skills, your reading, your writing, things like that. And they're going to be brief. They're not going to go into a lot of detail. Usually this is done by phone. It's done by video conferencing. And what they're doing is they're narrowing down a list. You pass that, now most likely they want to see you. Okay. And then they're going to come in and there's going to be two different types now you're possibly going to get. One of these is a structured interview. And yes, you can tell by the nature of this stuff's going to be on the midterm. Okay. Structured interview is formal. Okay. When we say formal, it means everybody's going to get the same type of question. Everybody they bring in getting the same type. And they do this so they can compare all your answers. So the person to the left that goes in, the person to the right, everybody's getting the same question. And they're going to compare them. And they're taking notes the entire time. And even if you don't see it, somewhere they're recording it somehow. And they can be general questions or very specific. And some of them will be what we call blue sky questions. It'll be like, so if you saw a turtle out there and a red car drives by, what do you think goes through the turtle's mind? And you're like, huh? They'll ask you very bizarre questions sometimes just to throw you off and then hit you with a hard question. That's exactly what it's there for. Throw you off, ask you a hard question to see if you can rebound. So when you hear weird questions like that, expect something else to follow. Everybody got that? The new technique that they're throwing in there to kind of throw you off guard. Just like I can toss in a 20-point quiz at any point in here, right? Everybody up for that? Because I'm getting close to doing that because it's a matter of a few keystrokes and we can do that. All right. So the next one is what we call an unstructured interview. An unstructured interview is less formal and it's more conversational. Now, how many people are getting these? They act like they kind of want to be your friend. Okay, so here is the thing. I told you I worked for ADP. So some of the things that they do in interviewing is a little tricky. They'll do things like they will put pictures of children on their desk. Sometimes people talk too much. Anybody talk too much during an interview? And they will say things like, oh, you have children too, to the person interviewing. Now they know you have children. Children might cause you to miss more work than somebody without. And they're going to take a look at you and they're going to smile. Yes, I do have children. And they're going to write on your resume this. No hire. And they're going to keep smiling at you like you're their best friend. Be careful when you're interviewing. Don't tell more than they ask for. Does everybody got that? Sometimes we wander and we talk too much. Okay. When they ask you a question, answer the question. Don't try to think and answer what they want to hear. Answer the question correctly and completely. Don't guess and try to answer it the way they want to hear it. You will lose that game. Don't try to think about what they want to hear. Answer it correctly and completely. Does everybody understand what that means? If you're trying to guess what they want to hear and give them that answer, you're going to fail that game. They're going to catch on. They're just trying to give me what I want to hear. They're not giving me the real answers. Okay? Now, how many have ever interviewed and they said, let me walk you out or let me walk you to your car after the interview? Anybody ever have that happen? They offer to walk you out after the interview. Let me walk you out. Nobody's ever walked you out. They just had you walk out the door. They never walked you to the lobby, anything like that. No? Watch for this. The friendly gesture. Let me walk you out. And they continue talking to you as you walk your way out after the interview. A couple of things are happening here. Number one, they are checking to see what you drive. Or they don't walk you out and they will call the front desk and they will ask them, what car did you get in? They're checking to see if you have reliable transportation. Okay. The other one, again, they are checking for car seats. Car seats are another indicator of children that you may miss work. Okay. Remember, businesses are in business for the sake of money. When you're walking up for your interview, don't be combing your hair. Don't be putting on your lipstick. Don't be doing this. You are camera ready. You step out of that car, all eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. You are focused. You are ready. Your hair is fine. Your clothes are good. You hit the runway going, camera, camera, look, look, camera, camera. You are ready to go. You know why? Businesses have cameras outside them. They're watching. They know. They want to see if you're ready. It's not your dressing room, okay? Come to the business ready. Everybody got that? Set yourself above. You'll see the people doing full changing in the parking lot. We used to laugh. We thought it was funny. Oh my God, look at that. They did not come prepared. They are, oh my God, they're getting dressed in their car in the parking lot. At least go down to McDonald's 2 doors down. Don't come not ready. So in an unstructured interview, they're going to be very friendly. They're going to be, but this is a problem for some people. They get too relaxed and they get diarrhea of the mouth. Blah, 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 blah. And they tell too much. Be friendly. Give them the information that they want and give it completely, but don't keep going on about things not related. All right. Now, research the company before you apply and definitely before the interview. Check their website, okay? Check internet news sites, okay? Network with people, ask them about it. What do they have for products? What do they do for services? How many people do they employ? How have they been doing financially? Okay, few reasons. You're going to ask them about this in the interview. When they ask, what do you know about our company? Well, I know you have this many products, you offer this many services, you have this many employees. And what I want to know is, how can I become part of this and grow with you? Or where do you see your company headed in the next 5 years? Wait, that sounds like a question they ask you. Don't they ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And we all hate that question. How many hate that question? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? How many people have ever heard that question in an interview? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Nobody? You need to know these things. What if you go interview at a company and you get hired, but they've been on the verge of bankruptcy for the past 6 months? Oh boy, they're going to hire you because they know they're going under. They can't get workers, but you're so excited. You move your family, you get all situated, you start to buy a house, and boom, they go under. Now what? Find out who are their competitors. You may find out, hey, I like the way their competitor sounds too. Apply there as well. So no, this You are the focus. You are the star of the show. And they're going to ask questions to find out about you. Don't try to second guess them. Don't try to just figure them out. Answer honestly. This is going to find out about your personality. Be very friendly. Look them in the forehead and tell them your skills, your abilities. Don't lie. Don't exaggerate. Tell them what you offer. Okay? And when asked, do you have questions? Say, tell me more about this and bring up something they told you about. If they say we have opportunities for you to learn new skills, say, can you tell me more about that opportunity? Is this something that I will have to pay for, or do you fully fund it? Do you see how that becomes a question for you? Does everybody see that? This is important. Okay, so companies no longer conduct face-to-face interviews. You can have an in-person interview that's conducted with all participants at the same location. Candidates are usually invited to a company for an interview, but not always. Sometimes they do a remote location interview. Sometimes it's a panel interview with multiple people in one room. Sometimes they'll ask you different questions, sometimes they won't. And here's your question. What is your most hated interview question and why? Include the question and the why for the full points, and we will do the next part tomorrow. Okay? And that is it for tonight. And we will see you tomorrow.